You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I had walked out of the room of the Browns-Eagles game. Dillon Gabriel was out. Game was well into the rest of the game. I mean, Snoop Hundley's playing at that point. No Eagles starters are playing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I'm walking out, going back and forth between my studio and the master bedroom. I got the game on in both rooms. And all of a sudden, they're interviewing Dillon Gabriel. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, what did he say exactly? What did you just say? I thought, oh, shit. Right there immediately, and I knew, okay, even if my boy Dillon Gabriel wasn't talking about my boy Shedeur Sanders, oh, shit. I knew it was going to be construed as such, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of like, uh-oh. Did he just take a shot at Shedeur? I mean, did he just do that? A lot of people were like, well, you're trying to make up some stuff that, no, look, I mean, I heard that, and when he said entertainer, I went, oh, shit. Shit. Okay. That's one way to go, I guess. By the way, do I think these two guys probably get along real well? Yeah, I do. I posted it on my X, and I was like, yeah, you know, we're trying to create a war between these two guys, and they're probably eating Cheetos and having ice cream floats together while going to see the Fantastic Four in the theater. They're probably totally cool with each other. But nonetheless, here we are. So, I already did a reaction video. Dillon Gabriel was solid as hell, so now you got two rookie quarterbacks that look like they might be able to do something. 13 of 18, 143, basically 8 yards a pass. Shit. I wonder how many quarterbacks this weekend will actually average 8 yards a pass. I don't know. Dillon Gabriel did. So, let's start here. All right. Normally, this channel would be talking a lot of Raiders. I looked earlier. Couldn't find a hell of a lot to talk about. But how about Tom Brady? How about the GOAT walking in to Allegiant for the game against my Niners? And I swear, with the glasses and the jacket on, Tom Brady is literally turning into Al Davis before our very eyes. He's morphing into Al right now. So, this is the clip that is going viral of Dillon Gabriel in the little interview on the sideline. Let's go.
It's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors. And I totally understand that. And my job is to compete. And that's what I'm focused on doing. It's just part of it. You know.
Let me see if this other clip is a little longer. It is. Good.
It's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors. And I totally understand that. And my job is to compete. And that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but, you know, it's something that I'll get used to and just want to be the best team that I can and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all we want to do.
Okay, so that was a little interesting. And I had not heard that part. Again, I just heard it as I was walking by and heard the entertainer and competitor part and went, ruh-roh, Raggy. That could be construed as a shot at Shedeur. And then he said, I'm trying to get used to this mid-game. He was talking about the interview. I hadn't heard that part. I just now heard it and was like, oh, okay. Well, that could lead you to believe that he's talking about, hey, I've got to compete, but I also have to get used to being able to talk to people on the sideline while games are going on. Except once the regular season starts, unless I'm going nuts, only the coaches are the ones that they end up talking to going into halftime or right before the game starts. They might talk to the quarterback before the game, but I don't know. That's a little. Let's listen to that last part one more time.
Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but you know, it's something that I'll get used to and.
See, we're doing this mid-game.
Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but you know, it's something that I'll get used to.
Something that I'll get used to. It sounds like he's saying, okay, I understand we're entertainers and competitors. So every player out there, right? And he's talking about giving the interview mid-game. He said, I'm trying to get used to this. Okay, so he's not used to the entertainer side of it. So once you hear the entire clip, and this is why it is important, that's not a shot at Shedeur Sanders. It is not. By the way, Mary Kate Cabot, Cleveland beat reporter, covers Cleveland.com, I believe. Been out there forever. Dillon clarified his comments, by the way.
All about our team, you know what I mean, and each other. I would never make that, and I've said it before, that's why it's interesting, but for me, I've explained it, entertainers are you all, competitor, that's what I am, and all my teammates, and we both have jobs to do, so that's it.
When you were asked Wednesday.
Okay, all right, look, when I go to listen to these things, I like to do it cold, all right? I'll try to do these cold anytime I can because that way you get he said the media. So in other words, the media being right there to interview him at the game, during the game. Well, it's a preseason game. So he's trying to get used to that. He wasn't even referring to himself or Shedeur as the entertainers. They're the competitors, and they are the competitors competing against each other, but they're on the same team. All right, so, and let me just read exactly what this says. Clarifies he meant the media are entertainers and he's a competitor, and that he was not taking a shot at Shedeur Sanders. Quote, I'm all about the team. I'm wondering what this looks like. He's such a pro. He shut down all types of talk today. No, I mean, it's social media is a dumpster fire over these two right now. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm a no good sumbitch because I called out the tight end for not catching a ball he should have caught. Pulling his hands back. When he pulled his hands back, I was pissed off. And look, for the record, when that tight end pulled his hands back, if that had been Shedeur, I'd have been livid. I'd have been just as mad. Let's not get confused. I would have. Too late, you gave Shedeur Sanders bulletin board material. Y'all thirsty for a story for real? Cat's out of the bag. He lives with this as long as he or Sanders is a Brown. Smart move by Gabriel to clean this up quickly. Young quarterbacks learn fast that every word is dissected. What matters is recognize potential impact on team chemistry and address it head on. True. Very good idea to just get out in front of this real fast. You know? And yet, this is 90% of what the sports media will cover about the game for an entire week. Do these people even like football? That's true. Well, I say it's true. There's a lot going to be talked about with the statistics and how they played, and this is the problem. You know why the Browns are considered a dumpster fire? Because they set themselves up for this by drafting two quarterbacks. Now, I will tell you this. I have sort of advocated for teams to draft two quarterbacks every year. If you're one of these franchises that can't get the fucking quarterback right, Browns, Jets, I mean, we can go down the list, Raiders, then take a shot, you know? Literally pull a Redskins every year until you get it right. RG3 first round, fourth round, Kirk Cousins. And they got one of the two actually right. Kirk Cousins was a guy, and he probably should still be a starter right now. It's kind of weird because if Kirk Cousins was in Cleveland, he'd be the starter on this team. He'd be the walk-away starter. But they probably wouldn't have drafted somebody else, although the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. A guy I like, by the way. But you get my point. I mean, yeah, take two shots. Third round, fifth round. Here's where the Browns bleeped up with this. One of the guys was Shedeur Sanders. who comes with a fan base that is very fired up. They walk in the door fired up, all right? I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. Kind of reminds me of Caitlin Clark fans. Really fired up for their person. Angel Reese fans are very fired up for Angel Reese. Right? I mean, Caitlin can play, but but anyway, you get my point. You get my point. And it's a constant war. You know, a constant war. He's scared of Sanders, that's why he's saying this. Okay. Great. So now we got one scared of the other. That's crazy. And the entertainer didn't have a pick six and a fumble. Oh, God. Which led to the only Eagles scores of the games. Unless I'm going nuts, didn't he lead 3 scoring drives? I didn't even mention that earlier. I just want to make sure we're being fair. All right. Again, Shedeur put on a hell of a show, and so did Dillon. Outside of that pick six that was more like a by the tight end that I broke down earlier. You tell me in the comments section, was he taking a shot at Sanders? Or are they hanging out at the Burger King, eating Whoppers and drinking floats, having ice cream floats? Are they down at the Sonic, having hamburgers and vanilla Cokes together? Or are they going to be playing power slap in the locker room instead? I think he clarified it pretty well. But when he first said it, I ain't going to lie, that's the only part I caught. I didn't catch the rest of it where he said mid-game and I'm not used to this. Yeah, that changes the outlook of the situation. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.